Prisma Arena. This is a game of fantasy combat, friendly fantasy combat, geared towards families. We're told, in fact, that all the combat that happens here is training, and you don't really get killed, you get bounced off the arena. So everybody's training together with these interesting, fun-looking characters. You have some humans, and each human will work together with a team of two emoticons, Pokemons, inside-out characters. Basically, they are physical materialization of human emotions. So there are a lot of different sources from recent pop culture that play into this. I keep looking at the box, looking for the Cartoon Network logo, but I can't find it. It just looks like, from the style, it should be the game version of a pre-existing franchise. But again, it seems to me, as far as I understand, it is an original story world, but one that borrows from a lot of classic elements of, again, modern pop culture, cartoons, comics, games, and so on and so forth. So you're going to have your standee representing yourself or your hero, and these other temporary helpers that you can change from game to game. The game has legacy aspects. That is, you can play a string of games in a sequence and see your character level up and develop, and you will mark the development of your character by physically altering the game itself, by writing on some of the components, say by writing on your training log based on how many points you score, which of these emoticon, Pokemon kind of characters you play with, and so on and so forth. There are gonna be stickers so that you can use to make your character unique, so simply by changing some details. But then also, as you level up, you will get different suits that represent, again, different levels of equipment, different levels of experience. Too bad that in my family we will never do that. We will never use those elements of the game for reasons that I will explain in the conclusions. You also have upgrades that you can attach to your character, not just cosmetically, but simply different powers, different abilities. That's why I have these unique bags. You write here the name of your characters, and you use it to store the components that you acquire with that character, for that character. Too bad I will never use them in my family for reasons that I will explain in the conclusions. This is the arena where the confrontation takes place. It is double-sided, and it has a central element here, which is double-sided also. Too bad that either side, it just doesn't fit. It is just slightly too large for the hole here. You can fit one side, and if you push, maybe another. But trust me, I tried all configurations, it's just too big. So it's always sticking out a little bit. With a lot of effort, I'm able to tuck in one side and its opposite side. Again, a lot of effort, I'm not doing it now. So at least it doesn't move as the game continues, because that is really annoying. You're gonna have obstacles that are placed in the arena to make things a little more tactical. And then, of course, again, you're going to have at least two teams, because what is this otherwise? An exercise in hard solipsism. So you're going to have two teams starting from opposite sides. Tokens, standees representing the position of your characters in the arena, and then, very important, each character is gonna have a unique card indicating unique abilities, the range at which they move, which is the same for everybody, 0 to 4 when they move, and the strength, very important, is used to indicate how much damage you give to an opponent when you blast them or when you strike them. Blast is range attack, strike is melee attack. The number of slots that you see here is the number of hits that a character can take before it is eliminated. So this character is attacking that character, and successfully so, with 2, then we place 2 tokens there. When a character's slots here are all filled, these tokens are removed. The character is temporarily removed from the board. It's bounced out of the board. It will return next time the character activates, and whoever plays those tokens there, whoever inflicted that damage, scores 1 point for each token that they place. Basically, you score 1 point for each point of damage that you give to an opponent, but again, you cash them in when the character is eliminated. I mean bounced. First player to achieve 20 victory points wins the game. Each character is also associated with an action token. At the beginning of a round, all the action tokens are placed so that the side that says ready faces up. Just because of the way the image is here, you place them vertically, but usually when we play the game, the character cards are next to each other, and I like to have the ready right there, touching right there, so there's no ambiguity. When it is your turn, you will activate one of your ready characters. You will perform an action. You will turn the token to the corresponding action, marking which action you took, but again, most importantly, that you did took an action, therefore the character is not ready yet. Once all characters have activated, then you refresh the characters, you get new cards, and this is super important. This is a card enhanced game. Technically, you never need to play a card. You could just use actions without the combo cards, but you're not gonna win. So it's technically card enhanced. In actuality, it is a card driven. So you will play these combo cards during the game. You see these symbols here, very important. We'll see why in a while. There are 3 basic actions that the characters can take: move, strike, or blast. Moving, you move by up to 4 spaces. You can move orthogonally, and you can only move diagonally once per turn. You cannot move into or through spaces containing many units. You cannot move into or through spaces with these obstacles, otherwise what's the point to start with? So that's for the move action. Very simple, very basic. Striking. Oh, another important thing about moving, actually, if you move next to an opponent in one of the 4 orthogonally adjacent spaces, now the characters are grappling. They cannot move away, they cannot blast. The only action that they can do is to strike each other when you activate them, or use an effect that allows you to ignore grappling, but otherwise they'd be grappling. Other action is to strike. Pretty simple. You can strike an enemy which is adjacent to you in the 8 positions adjacent to your character. So when you're striking, both orthogonal and diagonal count as adjacent. And when you strike, it's super simple. You inflict on the opponent a number of damage equal to the strength of the character. That's simple. Blasting. You blast enemies within 2, 3, a range of 2, 3, or 4. It has to be in a straight line. It can be orthogonal to you. It can be diagonal. So I could so I cannot strike adjacent. So I cannot blast adjacent, but I can use my blast to attack that space, or that space, and peekaboo, there is somebody there. But it's one of those games. If I am there, these 2 characters. This one is totally cool. I could blast that character, but I could not blast that character there because it's not straight, or I could not blast the character there. It's not straight into one of these straight lines. And so, of course, it just feels a little silly that way. That is all empty space, but just taking 1 step to the right or to the left, you cannot take me. It's a simplification, of course. It's not the most tactical thing that you can have, but kids don't seem to find a problem with that. And this is a game that I played only with my kids, so I was the only one that was a little bit confounded by that. Those are the 3 main actions. Oh, when you blast, of course, the number of points, damage points that you inflict, hits that you inflict is again equal to your strength. So those are your main actions. You can also simply take a combo action by playing a card. These combo actions have a symbol here, and you rotate So if I move, I rotate it to move. If I strike to strike, blast to blast. If I take a combo action, this my main action is fueled by playing a card. Then I rotate it to the corresponding symbol. That would be that one there. This is pretty cool because some symbols have also the sort of grayed out outline of another symbol. That means I can chain them. Say if my first action of the turn is to barge, then I will turn the token to the corresponding symbol there. I will place it there, as you can see, the full symbol over the grayed out version. I resolve the action indicated there, and since there is another outline there, I could play another one from my hand as long as it matches. But this one has no other symbol, so I cannot play a follow-up. But suppose that I have played this one. Then I have the possibility for another chain. And I got another one. And so on and so forth. You can chain off effects as much as you want, but also most important, as much as you can. So you can play a combo action to start with, or you can also play one of our 3 regular actions that I mentioned and then play a combo. So for example, I move, remember I move 0 to 4. It has that symbol there, and so I could follow up that with this card. And this is how combo works. Basically, you can attach combo cards to whatever symbol is available and visible at that point, and you can do it multiple times as long as one of these grayed out symbols is visible, and you have the matching card. And so that you get a sense of what the combo cards do. Basically, the big advantage is to move and attack, because otherwise you may have noticed if you take one action at a time, I move next to you, we're grappling now, and then it's your turn, you activate and you punch me in the face. And so to break that curse, you move, you punch them first, maybe you kill them, you bounce them, and maybe then you have another effect that allows you to avoid grappling and move away. So that sort of thing. Basically, as I said, it's technically card in hands, because you could just use your 3 basic actions, but you're not gonna make it. Optimizing the tactical aspect, the position and the movement with the cards really is the heart of the game. Continue bouncing each other, pummeling each other, blasting each other, but in a fun, friendly sort of way, until a player has scored 20 points and the player is the winner of Prisma Arena. So what may be one of the most interesting aspects of the game, which is the progression, the legacy aspect, the physical alteration of the game as the sequence of games progresses, you're building your own character. We're not going to play that. It's not going to work in my family. And I knew it before I opened the box. When I opened the box in front of my daughters, it was confirmed, because the second they saw the options of your heroes, so the main characters, they started arguing because they both wanted the same one. And so that's just not going to work, because one of them is going to start developing a character. Even if they make a deal, now I do this character, then you do something else, you clean my room, blah, blah. It's not going to work. They're going to renegotiate it. They're going to renege on their deals. They're going to change their mind. But I really wanted that character, but now my sister put that sticker on it, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to work. So in your family, when maybe you have less litigious kids, I think it's gonna be really fun that your kids are gonna have their characters, put their stickers on, chain them from time to time, level them up, etc., etc., etc. For us, that doesn't work. So and we're just never gonna do it unless at some point they use their allowance. Each buys her own copy. But for the time being, what I can comment upon is the game itself, without the legacy element, without the campaign and character developing system. It is a quite enjoyable game that plays very smoothly, that at the beginning I thought would be a little too mindless, a little too basic, but turned out to have some really nice moments. It is, in my opinion, mainly a game for families, which works just well in the period of quarantine of December 2020, when I don't have game night with adult friends. I play mostly games for myself and with my daughters, and it works very well as a family game. The daughters love it, and I love to see how much they enjoyed it. They enjoyed it so much that, again, they don't even see, they don't mind so much not having that campaign system that they mentioned. Ultimately, each of them is thinking, yeah, I don't have it, but she doesn't have it either, so let's just play the game. And they love the game. They have been asking me to play it over and over again. So again, mainly as a family game, possibly as an introduction to arena-style games, to fighting games of this kind, with very casual friends, very casual gamers. Maybe your spouse is not into games. Games, arena style games like Fortnite, they're all the rage. So you can also see this as an analog version of that kind of game. As a tactical game, again, it's very simple, but it's not silly. There are some really interesting ideas. Oh, there's an idea that I didn't mention, but it's really key. When you play those awesome combos, once you play your combo cards, they go in there in your opponent's discard pile. They don't go into yours. So you're thinking, I'm gonna burn them all, then I'm gonna get them back, burn them all. I'm gonna burn them all, and I don't have them maybe for a while. There's an interesting self-regulating system here, which again works well when you have an adult playing with a kid, because the adult pulls off that awesome combo and then you can't do it. And even if the kid is fumbling a little bit and trying to figure them out and not pulling off some big combos, neither are you, because they are not pulling off good combos. That means they're not discarding auto combo cards. That means you don't get them. So the circulation of the cards from player to player as they get played, it's a really nice plot twist there, and really helps self-regulate the game, so that the better you do, the harder things become. It's a nice, very organic, very, very effective rubber banding element right there. Again, it's all about the combos, really, but again, it's not mindless, because there's an element of hand management. You can try to pull off a mini combo now, just play a single combo card now, or wait, and I'm drawing a card, and then I'm discarding another one, and so after a couple of turns I have the mega combo. So you can choose how much you invest on those combos. Again, ultimately they will be what matters the most, and there's just interesting fun action that, again, even children can build. They can build to that sequence of actions. They can see and they can appreciate. Definitely kids can, peek out of a corner, blast you, and then use a combo to run away, strike you, grapple, use an effect to run away, and so on and so forth. Prioritize, okay, that character only has one point of damage left. It would be a waste now to use the super mega attack against them, because you can't overkill them. You still score only for the number of hits that you inflicted, and those that are above what's needed to bounce them are wasted. So maybe I'm gonna say the super mighty attack for that character who is mainly healthy. I'm gonna use a secondary effect or something less effective for that last poke that will remove that character. There are a lot of interesting small decisions mainly, but very basic and very intuitive, but somehow they work. Somehow they create a game that has a nice pace, that keeps moving, doesn't give you analysis paralysis, because there's only one combo that you can pull off, or none, because your opponent has all of your cards. There are a couple of interesting things, so you don't have too many decisions, but those decisions are still interesting enough to keep me interested. So I would say it's definitely a casual game, a game for families mainly, but one that really works within that genre. May not have huge depth, but even if you completely disregard all of those legacy, campaign, development, leveling up effects, it is just a simple, yes, but very solid, very well executed, casual arena style game. And for that is one that I definitely enjoyed, that my daughters have enjoyed very much, and that I believe we will be enjoying a lot in the near future, because they are pretty much obsessed with it, which is of course a good thing. After a while, when you play with kids, sometimes it's too much of a good thing, but we're not quite there yet. I still enjoy playing it, and I think I will be playing it a lot in the near future.